We're going to show you the boxing stance, the jab, and the right hand cross. Typhoon technique, 10 points, 1 goal. Pure boxing excellence. DVD is designed for boxers, boxing fans, combat sports in general, and people who enjoy the punching exercise, both with and without the contact of others.
Hi, welcome to Art of Boxing's Typhoon technique. 10 points, 1 goal, and that goal is pure boxing excellence. I am Vinny Furlani, here with former 2-time champ Tracy Patterson. Hey Tracy.
Hi Vinny, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. Now, I spent 11 years under the tutelage of former Olympic gold medalist and heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson. Floyd was a great teacher, and he's taught me a lot of different lessons on the sports in an unstructured, ad hoc way. And I've taken what I've learned from him and put it into a structured form called the 10-point strategic boxing system, and I'm here to share it with you today. This is the boxing stance, the foundation of the 10-point strategic boxing system. And just like a foundation in a building, if it is not built strong, that building may come down. Well, it's the same thing with your boxing stance. You want to have a tight, strong boxing stance to help you in your ability to exceed all your goals in boxing. We're going to start out showing Tracy demonstrating this foundation and this stance. He's going to start out with his feet together, and then he's going to spread his feet and legs apart about shoulder distance from each other. The next thing he's going to do is move his heels about 30 to 45-degree angles in back of where his toes are. He's going to bend his knees, move his body a little bit onto the front part of his leg versus the back part. Move his heels up so he's on his toes. Now he's going to do the upper body, where he's bringing the arms up and those elbows are tucked tight. Chin is down, hands are up. And this is the boxing stance. You know that Tracy is not giving his opponent a lot of area to hit. He's basically closing his stance off. And I want to caution those who are just starting out, a couple of mistakes or a couple of things you need to be aware of. So I recommend either using a camera or a mirror if you're doing it yourself, or have a coach watching you, in which he or she can point out the things that you might be doing deviating from the proper way. One thing you need to be cautious of is opening your stance up. And opening your stance up leaves your opponent more area of your body to hit. You want to avoid that at all costs. The second way to do it is to put your feet out of position. This also compromises your stance and compromises your ability to throw your punches with the most power or defend yourself properly. So make sure your feet are underneath where your shoulders are. The arms are tucked where the elbows are tucked toward your inner body. Hands up, head down, and chin tucked. Now I grant you, this is going to be uncomfortable at first, but that's okay. You're learning something new. If you continue to work at the sport, repetition, it will build good habit and then turn into great habit, which will allow you to succeed in the sport. Now Tracy's going to demonstrate how he can do anything offensively or anything defensively and return to the stance after every punch and every defensive move. And he's going to go fast. Then notice when he throws his jab out, why don't you throw a double jab where you move your feet? If he's moving his front foot, his back foot's coming with him. And the reason he's going to do that is to maintain proper leveraging of the stance where he can leverage his full body for more power and speed in the punches. Great job, champ. This is point 1, the jab. This is one of the most important punches you can throw in a fight because it helps you control the match. Tracy, any thoughts on the jab?
The jab is the most important punch you can learn in your arsenal in the beginning, because as well as an offensive weapon, you can use it also as a defensive weapon.
Great. So now we're going to show you a little technique and how to start. So Tracy's going to get in the stance and start throwing the jab. Well, the first thing you need to do is know a couple concepts. The first concept that we're going to use is called whiplash. When you're watching Tracy throw the punches, watch a couple things. Watch his legs, his upper body, its succinctness with the shoulder and fist, providing the most power possible you can have on the punch. Notice he's coming back to his stance after the jab. And notice from a leg positioning that his legs, when he moves forward on one jab, well, that back leg moves forward also and maintains the same distance that it is before. Now I'm going to have Tracy show you a double jab and then a triple jab. Legs going at the same distance. Now I want to show you and describe to you what a feint is. A feint is a fake jab. To get the opponent to think you're throwing a jab, they make a defensive move, and then they throw your jab a second later. Great tool. It is absolutely a great tool to use in a boxing match. So you got that jab, and then you got that feinted jab. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things you need to be cautious of when you're throwing the jab. The first thing is leading with that elbow when the punch is coming out versus the fist. This is a subtle move. A lot of people do it by mistake, and it actually slows down your jab. So you want to be cautious of it. And if you see your elbow flaring out, whether it's in a video recorder or in the mirror and you watch it, make note of it and say, wait, I got to lead with my fist. So the right way is fist first, not elbow first. That punch goes all the way out and all the way back. And the reason why you want to do that is you want to learn what your stopping point is. As far as that punch comes out, is your stopping point to when it comes back. So as you get more experience and start to shorten your punches, those punches can come at a shorter distance when your opponent is down. So you need to be cautious of the jab coming out and then coming back too up. And as you see, that's going to leave the head open for a counter punch. You want to put the head out and bring it back where it belongs, which is right up by your head. A couple other things I wanted to point out that you need to be cautious of is when you're throwing that jab, keep your legs the same distance. Because if you throw that front leg out with a jab and that back leg stays back, you get too wide with your stance and it compromises you from being able to do other things, throw other punches or defensive moves, because your legs are too far spread apart. And lastly from the caution is that double jab or flipping hook jab, not bringing it back all the way. So notice something when he's doing it slow, he's coming back only a portion of the way. It actually slows you down. If you come back all the way and leverage your punch and put that whiplash into your shoulder mechanisms to bounce back, you'll enable yourself to get more power and more speed and keep yourself protected at all times. Great job, champ. This is point 2, the cross, or otherwise known as a straight right or a straight left if you're a southpaw. It is the first of the power punches. Trace, any thoughts on the cross, straight right?
The straight right hand is a great punch to have for a right-handed fighter. I mean, it's better used though behind the left jab to set the guy up for it, and then boom, lay it in there, and good night.
Great. Now, Tracy made history in boxing, and it started with the straight right hand when he was fighting Terry Jacob. He basically, first punch that he hurt him with was the straight right. It was the beginning of the end. Remember those times and how?
Yes, I do very well. He walked right into it, and like I said, the right-handed fighter, it was set up nicely behind the left jab, and it landed perfectly, and it was a short night.
Great. So why don't we get your stance, Trace, so we can start demonstrating this punch. The first thing I'm going to do is ask you to throw out the punch slow, and I'm going to go to the ground so I can basically show you how the foot movement is supposed to go. So Trace, if you throw that punch out slowly, out and back. Basically, I would call it a 90-degree angle, out and back. Now do that punch a little faster now. Notice that he's coming back
be aware of and cautious. And the first thing is coming back all of the way, back from your punch. So if you don't come back all the way, you actually leave yourself open to be counterpunched. So Trace, throw that cross and then don't come back all the way. Notice his body is opening up. He's leaving more room to be hit. You want to make sure that body comes back all the way. Because when you're learning the sport, remember I said early on that it's going to be uncomfortable. And you're still uncomfortable learning the jab, the cross, and the stance. So it's going to be easy to feel better or feel more comfortable. And you do that by compromising the punching. So you want to make sure you're looking in the mirror or taking video or having someone watch you. So you can make sure you're being effective and coming back all the way on the punch.
And you also, as you're delivering the punch, you want to step in and back. Step and back. Make sure you get the full amount of weight behind it.
There are two more things I want you to be aware of from this punch. The first thing is failing to pivot your entire body. So, Tracy, as you demonstrate without pivoting your foot, just an upper body punch, it lacks authority and it lacks the luster that pivoting that foot would do. So show an example without pivoting, and then an example with pivot. And the second thing I wanted to talk to you about is more when you're throwing a combination of jab and then a cross. Remember I had said that you need to move your back foot to the same distance your front foot is moving. But if you fail to do that in this situation, and your foot is too wide, that punch is going to end up low. Compromises your power and also where that punch ends up. Now let's try it with the feet closer together, or as they should be in the stance. That punch comes up high, and that's the difference between a wide leg punch a foot lower than a proper punch a foot higher. And that 12 inches is the difference between hitting somebody and missing somebody's chest and connecting to their head, which will make it more effective. Great job, Jim.
Once you have the foundation, your boxing stance, the jab, and the cross feeling comfortable, it is time to learn the other points of the 10-point strategic boxing system. You can go to Amazon.com and order Typhoon Techniques DVD or book, co-authored by two-time world champion Tracy Patterson and myself, boxing trainer Vinny Furlani. And remember, work hard, train hard.